Keith Buckley has announced the new Many Eyes album, and it seems like he's kicked Charlie Bellmore out of the band. We're getting into some news. What is up, Bannock folks? Welcome back to our channel here. If it's your first time watching, guess what? Congratulations. You are now an honorary Bannock. Welcome to the club. You know, timing's a weird thing. And as much as we have made efforts on this channel not to compare these two bands, the fact that this news came out so close to each other is, I don't know. It's a conspiracy. Something's going on. They want us to talk about this. Both Many Eyes and Better Lovers have announced albums. One of them to just a lot of happy people who are excited, and another one seems to have quite a bit of drama revolving around it. It would appear that Charlie Bellmore, one of the two Bellmore brothers in the band, seems to be basically kicked out against their will. From the way it sounds.
Ex-vocalist of Every Time I Die, Keith Buckley's new band, Many Eyes, have announced that they've parted ways with their guitarist, Charlie Bellmore, of the Bellmore brothers. He's going to be replaced with Craig Vittori of Tzarina. I believe that's the band.
Tzarina. It's Tzarina. Have you ever heard of this band?
I've never, no.
Me neither.
The lineup now is Keith Buckley, Nick Bellmore, Sean Vidro. Nope. The lineup now is Keith Buckley, Nick Bellmore, Sean Bailey, and Craig Vittori.
That's good. That's clean.
The band announced this in a statement on Instagram.
We have parted ways with Charlie Bellmore, but we just want to thank him again for everything. We could not have gotten this project off the ground without him. We wish him nothing but the best with all his current and future projects and look forward to the possibility of writing with him again when the time comes.
Craig is just as pumped to join us, saying, getting to jump in with Many Eyes was unexpected to say the least. That being said, I've known Nicky for a long time. I've worked with him on a number of past projects. So when I got the call to come in on guitar, there wasn't any question. Working with Keith has been unreal in all the best ways. I may not have been on any of the written material for the first album, but I didn't know that.
Yeah, we'll get into that. It's actually interesting.
But he respected my interpretation of how to perform it live, and it's my hope that I will continue to make this lineup gel.
Yeah, have you never heard that colloquialism?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it just means like mesh together well. From that statement alone, it seems like things are pretty amicable. You know what I mean? We wish you nothing but the best. It sounds pleasant. It also means we're getting a Many Eyes full length, which I'm excited for. I'm excited to hear these tracks and hear the whole project put together, hear what sorts of different genre blending we might get to hear on this. However, it seems almost hours after this post came from Keith and Many Eyes, Charlie Bellmore released his own statement. And I will go ahead and read that to you now. So Charlie Bellmore posted on Instagram, some time ago, Keith called me and informed me I was no longer involved with Many Eyes. Does it suck? Yes, it absolutely does. In reality, what can you do? Keep moving forward. With all bands, you're supposed to be a team. And if you have a person that's for some reason affecting the team, that person has to go, unfortunately. That's crazy to say about yourself. Nobody else understood it, but that's what needed to happen in order for Many Eyes to continue. I hope everyone loves the album when it comes out. I truly adored writing it. The entire... Okay, I don't know what... I think he made a spelling mistake. I truly adored writing the entire album with my brother Nick and with Keith, and I'm completely heartbroken I'll never play these songs live again. That part seems genuinely sad to me. Could you imagine to write an album's worth of songs and then have someone just hop in and be like, thanks, bud, and just take your material? Like, he won't get to play a lot of these songs that he wrote. He'll never play for the fans of this band.
And how ironic is it? Or like it's that he said that I'll never be able to play these songs, and Craig, who's joining the band, is like, well, maybe I didn't get to write these songs. Like it's just such a weird thing to say.
It's very strange. And also the fact that Charlie doesn't seem happy with this situation, his brother is still in the band.
Yeah.
Which seems, again, we don't know the dynamics we don't know the inner situation, but it seems very odd that your brother would stay in the band if you were basically removed against your will.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole situation is a little strange, and it's unfortunate because it's taken a lot of the attention away from just the fact that this album's coming out. We don't have a set release date for this album. Another just fun little interesting fact about Many Eyes right now is they will be opening for Sum 41 on their upcoming fall US dates on their final world tour. Mm-hmm. I think it's called like the Setting Sum Tour or something great like that. It's a great name. We love Sum 41 on this channel.
And the caveat of all this Many Eyes announcement situation part-waying ways with this guitarist is that the ex-guitarist of Every Time I Die, Andy Williams, chimed in on Twitter, and he said, what an interesting turn of events that happened.
Yeah, I like this because this really sort of sheds a bit more light on the breakup with Every Time I Die. So I remember I was getting sober around the same time as Keith Buckley was, I think. I don't know how the timelines worked out, but so when Every Time I Die broke up, Keith Buckley, from what I recall, very much made it seem like he was trying so hard to stay sober, and like the band was like almost pressuring him not to be. So I remember very early on feeling like I just kind of sided with him without thinking about it. And as time has gone on and I've learned more about like Jordan and his like holistic meditation stuff that he does and like how like centered and grounded of a person he tries to be, it really does start to shine sort of a new light for me on the breakup with them. And Andy introduced them at their first show, which doesn't necessarily mean there's any bad blood with Keith. He's just introducing a band he really likes. But this is some snark. He's throwing shade. He's very clearly saying like, oh, like working with this guy, no shit, this happens, right? It was really Keith against the whole band.
It felt like that.
I don't know. I hope for a good Many Eyes record. It'll be interesting to see how this band goes moving forward, if they do have just a consistent revolving door of members, or if this is glued in and this really was like a hard but necessary decision. And again, I just can't help but feel like the situation where you have an entire album written and then you're like, all right, we're going to go tour it. By the way, you're out of the band guy who wrote all the guitar on the album. It seems wild.
It doesn't seem right at all.
But we can move on to happier news, better news, some might say. Because Better Lovers, as we said at the beginning of the video, have also revealed their album name. It's called Highly Irresponsible. They've shown us the album artwork. It looks great. Mm-hmm. Their debut full-length album, Highly Irresponsible, is slated for October 25th. It's coming out on Sharptone Records. They have also released a single with a music video, A White Horse Covered in Blood. We checked that out. It's on our channel right now if you want to go see what our thoughts were on that song. Not too much drama around this one. They just released an album and everyone's excited. So a little bit of a tonal difference between these two announcements.
This is great. I love Better Lovers. I love what they're doing. We love the music video that we saw. It's just kind of a tough pill to swallow when you see it all about Keith. Like it's weird that the announcement that the member was leaving was kind of like the forefront of that news headline, and like the album announcement was kind of in the back seat, which was kind of disappointing. You should have put that more so forward. I don't know. Dude, what do you think?
Announce he's leaving and then in like a week announce you have an album coming out. And there's no point in harping on it. But again, I genuinely think it's just crazy that he wrote the whole album and then you're like, I don't know. I don't know. So just a couple questions for you and for the audience, I guess. So if you want to let us know what you think of this, let us know below. We read every comment you guys leave. So Phil, do you think Many Eyes is boring outside of Keith? Is the music boring?
Yes.
Okay.
I do think it's very boring.
I went back to that first single that came out a few times. I guess the heavier of the three. I don't think I really ever listened to the other two again, to be honest, other than our reaction. But yeah, that's why I put the question on here, because I do find the music to be so mid, and Keith really is the only standout element. And even there, his voice sounds good, but it's more like the lyrical content that I'm really drawn to with him at this point. Maybe with a new guitarist, they'll have a more exciting sound on what they write after this first album.
I really enjoyed the art style that Many Eyes was going with those singles. I really like how they were they kind of they all had the same style. I believe they were by the same artist.
The Crystal Mommy aesthetic. Yeah, no, I do like it though, like the high spirituality sort of aesthetics. It's really cool. So what would you say are your expectations out of each album? If you can picture Many Eyes' full length in your head and you can picture Better Lovers in your head, what do they sound like? What do they do? What stands out about them?
I imagine Better Lovers is going to have some crazy, insane tracks because that's what they've been putting out. They've got a lot of very talented musicians in that band. And from what I gather, they jam on a regular basis in practice, and they're really going kind of full steam ahead. And if anyone knows anything about Dillinger and both Every Time I Die's past and discography, they've got some wild songs. So I can only expect some crazy stuff that they could be cooking up. So I expect something wild coming out of that. With Many Eyes, I don't know what I expect out of Many Eyes. I guess I imagine a couple ballads. One of my favorite songs is off their last record, The Thing with Feathers, which I think is a very controversial song. A lot of people don't really like that song. It's a very soft song, but it's hard not to enjoy. It's about their sister that passed away. I don't know. I really liked that kind of side of Keith Buckley that we kind of didn't really get to see. Maybe we'll get something like that off the Many Eyes record. That's what I'm expecting out of that.
I can definitely say that Keith doesn't feel like he's doing Every Time I Die 2.0. Whereas you can argue that Better Lovers has a very similar sound. Granted, it's made up of the entire musical section, it's all the instrumentalists from Every Time I Die. So it is their sound. If anyone's allowed to do it, it's literally them. I loved Dillinger too, but no band ever really, really hit that moshy mathcore itch for me the way that Every Time I Die did. So,
and Greg is doing a great job at
he's a great vocalist anyway.
Yeah, fantastic. Have you ever seen Greg live? He climbs all over. He just does. I
must have seen Dillinger at some point.
They're wild. They absolutely are insane, and he keeps that, and he's absolutely shredded too. He's just jacked, and he's just this ball of energy that's just all over the place, and we love to see it.
I think I'm more excited about Better Lovers, but I do think in terms of no, I'm just more excited about Better Lovers, but I do commend Keith for going in a different direction. And I would like to hear it expand into something a little bit more interesting than the handful of singles we got thus far.
All right, there you have it, folks. What did you think about the Buckley Bros announcements that they had? Leave it all down below in our comment section. And if you aren't already, subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. That's just YouTube. Oh, you're on it. You're on YouTube.
You're on it. What are you doing?
There you have it, folks.
I'm leaving that in.
There you have it, folks. That was our thoughts on the Buckley Bros announcements. What did you think? Leave it all down below in the comments. If you aren't already, subscribe to our channel. Give this video a like. Let us know what you think. Just leave it all down below. And if you are a little bit of a mix master, home master, brewer, basement recorder dude, and you want to give yourself a little bit of tool. I don't know what I'm saying here.
Just say we have a Lander affiliation.
And we have a Lander affiliation that you can just click and check out through our bio. That gives you a little bit of money if you do any.
No, it helps you save money. We will not give you money. We are giving away no money. I want to stress that.
Check out some other videos that we got going on here.
We have a join button down there as well. If you want to toss us a couple dollars a month just to keep this thing going, we'd very, very much appreciate it. Yeah. Are you team Buckley or team other Buckley? Let us know in the comments below.
Are you Buckley or are you for Buckley?
I voted for Buckley.
I voted for Buckley.